here I am at the demo day at Ventura Harley Davidson, and finally, after all these months, I'm on the one Harley I would genuinely consider buying, and that is the 2022 Harley Davidson Lowrider ST. I love this bike. You know what? I forgot to put my dang sunglasses on. I'm gonna have to keep the shield down. Well, I'll get a chance here. That's better. I love the idea of this bike. This is the soft tail lowrider. Sounds like an oxymoron. It's got, unlike the Lowrider S from last year, this ST and also the new S has the Milwaukee 8 117 as opposed to the 114. And I already demoed the Lowrider S a few months ago and really enjoyed it. And I'm hoping I will like this even more with this very cool fixed fairing on this bike. Right off the bat, I already knew I loved the Milwaukee 8 117, and I still love it. I also am enjoying this posture immensely, having just demoed a new Nightster. This position is simply much more comfortable to me. Frankly, this is just a confidence-inspiring bike all around. Yes, it is air oil cooled as opposed to liquid cooled on that Revolution Max, but this is what a cruiser ought to feel like. I believe I said when I demoed the Lowrider S that it is the standard against which you ought to measure heavyweight cruisers. I'll double down on that and say this ST is really the standard. This is what a Harley ought to feel like. It's what a cruiser ought to feel like. And in this form, it's even cooler with this fairing and also these bags. These bags are actually pretty roomy. They kind of look a little short, and they're intentionally short, I think, for ground clearance. But they're well built and well designed. They have a nice latch mechanism, chrome latch on the top to open them, and they've got a little air shock in them so that it opens smoothly without just dropping wide open. And then they've got a nice quick release inside if you want to ride it without the bags. My wife would kill me, and it's never gonna happen because I like my BMW too much and my FXR, but I would love to own one of these. So here I am, just minutes into the ride. I'm 5 minutes into the ride, and I am already answering the crucial question that we answer on all demo rides on this channel. Would I own this bike? Absolutely, in a heartbeat. Look, I can't say I'm going to add it to my stable because, frankly, between the RT, 2 FXRs, and 2 Honda CRFs, there's no room in my garage and a lift. But the CRFs are going to go. This bike feels awesome. Let's talk a little bit about it. I mentioned it's the Milwaukee 8 117. I will put up a spec sheet on screen for y'all with a little more detail, but the basics of this bike are you get about 125 foot-pounds of torque. Harley does not publish on their website what the horsepower spec is on this bike. I imagine because it looks bad compared to the 1250 Revolution. Oh shoot, thank you.
Okay, you're good.
Thank you. Bag was open. I did not do that, but I didn't check it either. Gives me a chance though to get on it, and man, does this thing move, and it stops. So nice. I don't know if y'all saw what just happened back there, but here I am on this demo ride, and the left pannier came open, and fortunately the guy at the back of the ride from Harley Davidson saw it and came up and closed it for me. I would freely admit if I did that, but I didn't. Somebody must have messed with it and not closed it all the way. So very cool of him to do that. Where was I? I was at the basics of this bike. I was saying Harley does not publish the horsepower spec. I'm guessing it's around 100. Whatever it is, feels great. Really feels great. You got a nice big 5-gallon tank on this bike. You get, I will verify this, but I believe this bike comes with ABS. I am not sure about traction control. I will put on screen the answer to that question. You get dual front disc brakes, not radial mounted, not branded Brembo. They're branded Harley Davidson. I'm not sure who makes them. They feel good. Inverted fork, monoshock rear suspension. And just a very capable, confident feel on this bike. I love the styling. I love this fairing. I love the look of these bags. People have complained because the bags are asymmetrical. One is bigger than the other because of the stock pipe, to accommodate the stock pipe that comes on this bike. I like this, I think they call this battleship gray color. I know some don't. There's kind of a retro looking Harley font graphic on the tank itself. The details of this bike are all black. Forks are black, engine's mostly black, covers are black, gas cap is black. I could buy this bike and not do a thing to it and be really happy. It'd be tempting probably to put a little outer pipes on it, but not necessary for performance at all. It's got an interesting gauge that's integrated into the handlebar clamp. It's a digital display of speed, tachometer, gear indicator, and fuel. No modes on this bike. Why would you need them? It feels pretty darn near perfect. I gotta mention the gearbox too. Very smooth shifting. I am gonna say smoother shifting on this bike than on the Revolution Max of the Pan America or the Nightster that I also rode today. may just be that this is set up perfectly, but I have nothing but praise for the way this gearbox feels. You know, I've demoed quite a few bikes for me in the last 6 months, and without question, understanding that it's crossing genre and engine type and suspension type, I am enjoying this bike more than any other I have demoed, but for maybe the RT that I ended up buying. This is a really, really cool bike. So I'll go a step further. I may have already alluded to this, but not only would I be proud to own this bike, but if I were going to buy a Harley Davidson in 2022, I would buy this one. Now, not completely fair for me to say that, because I have not ridden an FL lately, but this is 700 and something pounds, which is rather beastly. FL is just going to be heavier, and there's no way I would want a bike that heavy for me, unless I were going to just do literally cross-country highway riding exclusively, and I'm not, ever. I could have fun on this bike on, you know, sub 500 mile days, and I could have fun on this bike in the canyons and in the twisties. Plenty of power there in 4th gear to do a roll on. It's a home run on this bike. Could they improve some things? Certainly. They could put better spec brakes on it. I'd love to see them put radial mounted Brembos on this bike. I'd love to see them put a fork that is more tunable. That said, the suspension feels great. My understanding is this is a taller suspension than your regular Harley Davidson Lowrider. I think they incorporated the rear shock from the Fat Bob, that, yeah, which has a little taller rear suspension. It's smoothing out the imperfections in this road nicely. I'm not detecting an unusually high degree of dive on braking. I just really, really like this bike a lot. And when I got on the Pan America, I was blown away with it too, but after this point in the ride, I had grown more accustomed to it, and the shine faded a bit for me. It's not fading at all on this bike. This would be fun to hit Highway 101, get to PCH, ride up to Monterey like I just did with Kenny, and just keep on going. I think this would be a comfortable ride. I hope Kenny gets on one of these. He's indicated an admiration for it, and I hope he finds time to get on one. I think he'd really like it. It is not inexpensive. I think you're at $20,000 for this bike. Of course, it doesn't have a quick shifter. There's the Fat Bob. I think this has the same rear suspension that does. I would much prefer this bike to that one. Now, if that's a Fat Bob, that must be the Fat Boy in front of it. Nice wind protection so far from this fairing. I have not gotten a chance to go real fast for real far on it, and I think there's going to be too much traffic on the freeway for that, but we'll see. Man, I love this engine. Third gear, 3,200 RPM, 52 miles an hour. Fourth gear quiets it right down. 2,600 RPM, 50 plus mile an hour. And we'll get on the freeway. The freeway's moving a little better, but maybe I'll get a chance to experience this fairing in the wind. Nice Ford step side. Let them get ahead a little bit. There we go. Nice pull. Really nice wind protection too. Unfortunate placement of the Ford Focus, but we will we'll deal with that. Oh, he's going to get away. Go on over there, Focus. There we go. I dare one of these guys to split between those trucks. Unfortunately, I'm not supposed to go past them, so we're stuck here in the slow lane. I'm going to interrupt here and beg for subscriptions, as we are wont to do. If you are enjoying this video and have not already subscribed to the Jed Rides, I hope you'll consider subscribing now, and I hope you'll consider hitting that like button, because I would love to have you on the channel for more videos after this. So look, I've already told you I love this bike and I would own it. I told you it's my favorite Harley in the lineup. What else can I say? It's a great bike. That is the Jed impression of this Lowrider. I really hope some of y'all who are watching, who I know are strictly BMW fanboys, and I'm one too, will find time and a dealer and give this bike a ride. I think it'll put a smile on your face, if nothing more, and give you a little perspective on why so many people buy Harley Davidsons. I'm going to sign off in all this traffic. I'm going to thank y'all for coming along for the ride. I'm going to thank Harley Davidson for providing these demo bikes. I'm going to thank Ventura Harley Davidson for providing the venue. And I hope you are having a great day. And I'll see you next time. Bye.